There are spoilers ahead. I promise we will discuss the Void Gate further. First, I must attend to the matter of the Vault's sentinels. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Kapikulu has been reduced to so much scrap. Please bring a new one out of storage and see that it is conveyed to its post along with some few lesser constructs. Was it tomb robbers? Fiends born of the Tower of Zot? By the sisters, do not tell me a blasphemy yet roams free. Yeah, that was me. Just the nope. Why such guilty faces? Surely it wasn't you who was responsible for the... oh. Well, the details aren't important. I shall see it done immediately. That is hilarious. And with that, the vault will soon be secured once more. Now, I believe you had questions. Quite a few, in fact, but I'd like to begin with the gate itself. It is still functional, yes? Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed with an alchemically forged lock and warded with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason for the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. Okay. So much effort for such a little door. That little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors. So... Shadowlands? That said, in its current state, it would admit only the lowliest of void sense, and from this side no man would be able to pass through it. No man. I should think Alpha Node would fit, even a firm enough push. Physical size is only one consideration. The true restriction hinges upon the etheric density of the soul in transit. And yet you succeeded in expanding this diminutive portal and sending your simulacrum to the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemist. I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead, I bade them devise a means to control it. After such experimentation, they accomplished the impossible. A method was conceived by which my magics could manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. But the process has long since been forgotten. Once I had given up search for Asdaria, there was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus has the gate lain dormant for years uncounted. Our own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, one bound to a covenant made with a cloud of darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken, and the doorway severed from its connection to the void. Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void sent, but such deals usually end in betrayal and death. Oof. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the bounty gate. Mayhap you could resume the search for your sister. As I have already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. I had meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place? It was Astinian's idea. As I recall, 'twas you who was chasing tales of undersea ruins. Well, as you've seen, the fabulous wealth from the stories is quite real. If not its rumored origin, but I'm afraid I must assert a prior claim. I've been adding to that trove for years, little by little, but the time has come to spend it, that I might alleviate my people's suffering. Oh, that's actually really smart. Yeah, just playing the long con. Then we are of one mind. We had no intention of taking it for ourselves. Isn't that right, my friend? What is Y'shtola thinking? Your Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? I will make no attempt to open it, of course. I owe you and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask of me, you shall have it. You are most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission. Would that I could join thee in thy study, but the Loperates will be anxious to receive mine report. I beg my leave of you. And I must be off to Charlayan as well. Mistress Krau was eager to speak with you about that request, so please come back to the annex as soon as you are able. Well, farewell for now. We can discuss my findings once I return. You'll not be rid of me so easily. You may now undertake the Chronicles of a New Era quest series, Myths of the Realm. Speak with a fresh-faced student at the Badesian Annex to accept the first quest. Okay, so that's the entire Kryl situation. The difficult part in all this will be deciding how best to put these riches to use. Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Anything to make up for the constructs we broke. I think your employment, then think of your employment as recompense. Serve me as guest advisors, and I will consider the broken constructs paid in full. Adalia and I are in this together. I will follow her example. Meanwhile, elsewhere. Oh! I know who that is. Is that Golbez? That's Golbez. Oh, this is FF4. Thrown overt. I sensed the breaching of a gate, but it was not instigated from this side. It was thrown open from the other. I too felt it. A rare occurrence, yes. But such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand. So this is the void. An opportunity is upon us, the coming of which we have awaited for nigh on 10,000 years. We dare not let slip our grasp. Yet we must not underestimate she who bested the cloud of darkness, even restrained by a covenant. The cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. So they're referring to me. Bah, let her come. I will drown the world and watch this fleshling grasp for breath in her final moments. What does Golbez have to say? Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath this sunless sky. Remember why we ceased not. Remember why we cede not our will to fight. That's Golbez. That is Golbez. 'Tis time we set the war in motion and win redemption for our star. So this is the 14th, and it's goddamn Golbez. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the name right. It was Golbez, right? Yes, it's Golbez. Okay. Just did some Google magic. Sharing the wealth. Varshan wishes to discuss the distribution of the treasure. Dibs most of it. Shall we begin? We are to spend the treasure wisely, then we must first determine which groups would benefit most from monetary assistance. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly, so I would ask that you act in my stead. Dahlia, you are to visit Akayali and Yedlamad. Speak with Matsya and his people and listen to their grievances. Justinian, I bid you do the same at Palaka's stand. I will be conducting my own inquiries in the Giant's Gull grounds. Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene at the Meghaduta. Let's just hop over there now. Oh, Adalia, I'm glad to see you had returned unharmed. You finished with the boat then? I'm not gonna do accents, because that's an insult to every kind of culture. And, sorry, my ability to do accents is an insult to any culture. I can't do Southern, I can't do nothing, let's just go. Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Khazal's loss hit us the hardest. I've been trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, it's not so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together as best we can. Okay, let's go get the other people. Greetings and welcome, traveler. If this is your first visit to Thavner, then you must try my special Amar Lassi. Its refreshing zest cannot be beat. What could such a wonder cost you, you wonder? Normally I part with 3 bottles for such a generous price of 19,800 gil. But for you, I am willing to go as low as even 10,000. You'd be practically stealing from me. Oh, still not turning a profit these days. Times are harsh, my friend. The world may no longer be on fire, but we are still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Sisters, spare me, we might as well have that ugly tower back for the scant few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have coin to buy at local prices. I tell you, if I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the street. Yeah, that's fair. Gotta make money. Ha. How far is the port? Well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more now that the danger has passed, certainly. But no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add that to the sailors who we lost in the Final Days, it's little wonder the flow of exports is no more than a pitiful trickle. If Khazal and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure he'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now that was a man who got things done, God's rest his soul. You have spoken with key figures and gained an understanding of the populace's hardship. Varshan awaits your report at the Meghaduta. Okay, so let's just get to the Meghaduta. It's right here, right? Ah, my savior's returned. I've just made it back myself. And why do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling to say the least. There are a few places I can enter comfortably without the risk of flattening some cart or stall. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people at Palaka's stand were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they persevered with some assistance from Yelminad. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like. And I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs for the most part. Palakistan has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of giant's gall to a foreign trader. But such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Thavner has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade so we may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn at Akyali and Yelamad? People don't want to come in, exports have gone to poop. I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yelamad. I am reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea when the beasts sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale, repeated over and over. So many lives lost. Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome. But we will not. Dahlia, Estinian, I will consider the perspectives you've brought me, and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversity. Come, I would like you to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries.
I thank you for your attendance. The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadar's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. Made aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamad. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Karazar's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen. Our to bring their wares to distant markets.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. A simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come. Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
Okay, so taxes. Levy them on trade profits in exchange for your investments. It takes a village to raise a child. Idleshire's orphanage was funded through trade in highly coveted goods. Let's go with this because I did do the deliveries.
Of course, we can draw on trading profits to build a new institution. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage. Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name.
Something of Khazal seems appropriate.
A fitting candidate. Khazal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Khalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Mirad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Khalzal Foundation. Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor. Clerks, see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgard.
Bye.